Hey people, Inquisitor 3v3, Lothar's Cataclysm, blue team. Yipyip is a Daemonhunter, a melee psyker with strong support and control. Alongside, MammothMKII is a force commander, very strong offense, fighting in melee, some powerful disruption and support. The Dark Angels DLC here. Rounding off the team, the Tenso is an Inquisitor offensive hero with powerful control, begins in melee combat but can get specialized ranged weapons. I believe this is the, Talon Desert Raiders elite scheme, which is very cool. Red team, call Batman, I'm Robin, also known as Cry, with a Ravener Alpha, a tunneling hero with great mobility, powerful offense and a bit of support, begins with a ranged weapon. Alongside, I believe this translates as two arms, with a Chaos Lord, durable and destructive hero, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed, with powerful offense and disruption, fighting mainly in melee, and the Iron Warriors elite scheme is here. Rounding off the teams, Wolverine with another force commander, this time with the Imperial Fists elite scheme. In the south here, new map for 295, very cool. We have a contested VP here in the south. Natural VPs through the middle. Let's see what this force commander gets up to. He seems so excited to start getting into melee there, but got Hammer of the Witches to the face and is going to have to run away. There we go. So we have this planet seemingly, quite literally, kind of torn asunder by a massive chaos ritual, which is very cool. You can see evidence of the chaos stuff like here and down in the south where we just were, and there's stuff like this. Lots of cool little touches around. Point layout is pretty standard, and we have some cool geometry to work around and objects placements and stuff. Can the blue team get onto the power here? Force commander of Mammoth is very healthy. I think they can. Heretics are sticking around, suggesting, yep, they are getting their aspiring champion, but they can't stick around here for long. They have forced off the Inquisitor, which is something. But yeah, the force commander early on is so good at dealing with heretics with his battle cry. Well, they are genning up here, so red team are quietly confident that they can defend this power, I suppose. Double CSM for two arms. And Cry with double termagants. Did they just lose something? I mean, there's a bunch of bodies here. There's just termagant bodies. That's a very sneaky tunnel. Look at that, into the northwest corner. They also have a tunnel at their power so they can get back and defend it, and at their base so they can get back for healing. Decap for the Sentinel. There we go. Well played. Tenso needs to get out now, though. Needs to start backing away. I think they do have some heavy cover here, so they're happy to shoot upon the tactical marines. I think they were cutting out the cover with that angle, I think. Kicking off in the mid now. Chaos Lord chasing some tactical marines. Oh, look, it's not symmetrical here in the mid. This side we have an open area. This side we have the ruins, which are a line of sight blocker. And that's fine, I think. Maps don't need to be completely symmetrical. I think the points should be symmetrical, but when it comes to object placement and terrain, a little bit of variance can be cool, because remember, that shot blocker could benefit either team depending on where the fight is and what kind of fight it is. So you don't need complete and utter symmetrical stuff going on all the way throughout the map, I don't think. Assault Marines up for Mammoth. The Warrior Brood has a Barbed Strangler for Yipyip, and they have double Strike Squad. We do have the Tomes of Titan. Very different now, of course, in 295. It says here, grants multiple psychic abilities. That's Snare and Smite Foes. Oh, is that because it gives you the Psychic Burst, or whatever it's called as well? That's probably it. I think before you only needed the Justicart. As you can see, now gives a passive 10% health and melee damage bonus. Banishment, which is that, was changed quite a lot though. Now does less damage, has shorter range, and the upgrade itself is more expensive. 10 power more expensive. It's 25 power now to get the Tomes of Titan, which is quite expensive for a tier 1 upgrade. Much like the Barbed Strangler actually, which is also 25 power, I think. But yeah, lots of changes for the Tomes of Titan for the better. Much less toxic as a big burst of damage now. But you do get some other benefits here and there. Assault Marines getting in on the Devastators. Devastators only have a lesser form of the melee resistance, 20% rather than 40%. So it's not a great fight for them. Lucky to only drop one model, I think, in that time. Blue team hitting back. And he will grab the Southern VP. We do have Heavy Weapon Squad designed to shut down the double tactical marines. Purgation up there for Yip, and double warriors for Cry, keeping one in its default melee state with those power melee weapons. There we see the Warp Rift, or whatever it's called, from the Daemonhunter, his starting ability. Very long range snare. He was using it all the way from back here. Warrior Brood, can they face tank this stuff? Barb Strangler comes in, very well judged by Cry here, and gets rid of him. Does get rid of him. South side, blue team pushing through. They've bashed and decapped the power node here. Triple CSM for 2 arms. They were not messing around when they shouted 2 arms, were they? We have Eternal War on 2 of the CSM, but not the 3rd. I wonder if it was a mistake. The kind of mistake I would make. Leaving your CSM on Overwatch. Heretics with an aspiring champion as we saw before, and some Corn Worship for that +2 speed. The Sentinel is taking down the Gen. Well done, Sentinel buddy. It is the Holy Brazier for the Inquisitor. Gives her a power melee weapon and the Holy Pyre ability. Here we see Cry with a flank, using the Barb Strangler to scare off the Tactical Marines as well. Stomp comes in though, sends everything flying. It's like a pile of skeletons here on fire. That's pretty cool. Another touch over here too. A touch of chaos. Tier 2 for 2 arms. Yip with an incredibly heavy tier 1 going for interceptors now. Not expecting that. Wolverine with a tier 2. Oh no, they cancelled them. They're just going to go tier 2, I think. Maybe into a Dreadnought. That'll be very fun to see. The Grey Knight Dreadnought is so cool. They're going to get a full bash here and maybe a decap. Really well played by Cry. Having the presence of mind to come over here and do this. They are losing the northern side though. Sentinel with a bunch of repairs. Barb Strangler suppressing those guards, although forcing a retreat. Every weapon squad is here to help shut down the blob of Chaos Space Marines though. Hammer of the Witches goes in. They need to switch targets. That heavy bolter was shooting at the fellas running away for a long time there. And they were able to actually get in. Shouldn't have been allowed to get in there. Any war gear for the Force Commander? We have Artificer. Might see the Thunderhammer with all this heavy infantry around. 430 to 401. Meanwhile, double Strat Squad and Purgation on the power. These incinerators can suppress infantry. Pretty good at burning down stuff, as you can see too. Any war gear for the Daemonhunter? No, level 2. Ravener Alpha, nothing. We have the Iron Halo on the way for Wolverine. Can they get a model there? Not quite. Force Commander of Mammoth runs into heavy bolts of fire and is going to be persuaded to leave soon. But double tacks are still in play. Double Kraken Bolts there popped against these low-level Tactical Marines. Kraken Bolts gives you 20% more damage to heavy infantry, which is what Tactical Marines and Chaos Space Marines are. Marines in general, unless they're Terminators, which I guess are... they're still Marines, aren't they? Just in different armor. All in general are heavy infantry. I think the only thing with Marine in its name that's not heavy infantry would be Plague Marines, which are regular infantry in their armor type. Just have tons of hit points. Going to be a late tier 2 for Hive Cry over there. Hive Crisis is often their name. Nothing yet for the Stormtroopers, eh? Some burst damage from those little grenades would be quite useful, I think. But they've spent all the power on the Tomes of Titan and the Purgation so far. We have double Mark of Khorne Chaos Space Marines with the Mark of Tzeentch one on the way. That's a versatile and very dangerous infantry force now in tier 2. For 2 arms, Mark of Khorne Marines with these power melee chain axes, increased health and speed, and melee skill of course, which helps them in fights. Mark of Tzeentch, powerful anti-infantry ranged weapons, these Inferno Bolters doing extra damage to heavy and super heavy infantry. And if they can keep the Mark of Khorne fellas around, they can counter-initiate the Assault Squad. Unfortunately for them, the Force Commander's got a Thunderhammer, which can disrupt the hell out of these Mark of Khorne Chaos Space Marines. You need to try and bait out that battle cry and avoid as much of those special attacks as they can. Wolverine with Plasma Devs now. Oh, look at this. Crusader's up for yipyip. These guys got tons of changes in 295. Talk about those in a second. Let's see this attempted power bash. Grenade goes in from some stormtroopers with the assault kit. Lots of pressure on this power so far. 379 to 367 on the VPs. Those hot shot lasguns from long range, big burst damage from those stormtroopers. That's a cannon with a beautiful shot. Killed like 8 guardsmen, I think, and a marine, I think. Inquisitor might go down here. Yet she's done for. They are touching the power. So Crusaders, look at these fellas now. Big changes for those guys. They're now, they used to be 4 models on 600 hit points each, and now 5 models, but their hit points drastically reduced per model to 225, which sounds like a massive nerf, but you need to take the entire unit in context now. They have much more speed, up to 6 speed from 4.5, so they're much nippier. A little bit more DPS, like 36 melee DPS, I think up from 34 or something. They now get a little bit of health regen when they're in combat. Their cost was reduced down to 350 requisition, I think, from 425. Same amount of power, 40, and a little bit more red, I think, but the requisition lowering was quite significant, down 75-ish. So, the big deal with these guys is their passive ability. All their other abilities were removed, and their passive now gives them 25% more damage and more health every time they lose a model. So as you kill them, they become harder to kill, and they become more killy. So there's a risk reward there to take those guys down. So it's a really cool design, I think. Also, they can get a tier 3 squad leader. A warrior acolyte can come in tier 3, who has, I think, 300 hit points, a power melee weapon, 55 DPS or so. He's actually got a 2-handed eviscerator chainsaw, which is awesome, and he grants them, just for being there, 20% more damage still, and 20% damage resist. So he's a pretty strong squad leader for them in tier 3, which should help them scale. Also gives them the, I think it's called Battle Frenzy, which gives them 50% damage resist, +1 speed, and some health regen. It only lasts, I think it's 6 seconds or so. Seems to be designed to help them get into melee, those Crusaders. Hopefully they last to tier 3 so we can see that warrior acolyte guy. But looking forward to see how these guys do. And of course, since they gain a percentage more damage and health as they die, that in itself will scale even higher as they level up and get more damage and health to start with. 334 to 320. VPs are very even as the players settle into their tier 2 armies. We have a Chimera up here for the Tenso. Inquisitor still down on the power there. Mammoth now has a Sacred Standard. Constant buffs to nearby allies. That was a drain life from the Chaos Lord from the Mantle of Hate. Didn't really have anything to follow it up with though. Iron Halo and Artificer for the Force Commander of Wolverine. Hasn't leveled up yet though. Mammoth has a level 2 Force Commander on their way to level 3. Meanwhile, North. So this Strike Squad in action. Chaos Space Marines are getting messed up by double Strike Squad and Daemonhunter and those Crusaders though. Wow. Wiped them out. 2 arms now down to just 2 units on the field. The Daemonhunter himself has got the Force Rod. It's a regular melee DPS, 55 melee DPS. More energy and gives him Retribution, which is a big disruption ability. It does damage too, I think, yeah. And like silences people afterwards, yeah. You see it there in the tooltip. And the Tome of Tranquility, very popular accessory, more energy regen, and it works. Yeah, also allies in a radius get more energy regen. Pretty damn good for that guy. He's very energy dependent with certain builds, especially. Force Commander's level 3. We have Genes to the Brood here for Cry, melee superiority, and they should do a very good job in amongst this Ordo malleus stuff. Oh, yipyip lost their purgation. Where did they fall? I guess while I was nattering on. They're grabbing that power. They could node it maybe even. Might want to grab this contested stuff too though. Meanwhile, through the mid, down goes the Chaos Lord, I think. Yep. 2 arms trying to recover here with some bloodletters. I think the Iron Warrior bloodletters are yellow, which is quite fun. Are they? Yes, they are. Indeed they are. Force Commander of Wolverine. What knocked him back there? Looked like his shield was up. Maybe it wasn't up at that exact moment. Plasma Cannon. Doesn't quite hit. I think it got a decent hit before that though. 280 to 284. VP's very even. But look at the map. It's turned very blue since 2 arms got depleted there. They couldn't hold the mid. Which then bleeds over into the sides. Chimera here for some support. And there we see the silence from the Retribution. What was that? Got tossed into the air there. Looked like a drain life type thing, but it was on a Tyranid. I don't think that was Retribution. I'm not sure what that was. We have MammothMKII CSM with a aspiring champion. More bloodletters on the way. And some Stern Guard veterans for Wolverine, using their vengeance rounds to bash power there. They can change their ammo to combat all targets. Got some Stern Guard also for Mammoth. Bloodletter's warp shifting out to escape all this damage here. Gonna lead some pain to the CSM, having to retreat now in fact. We've got Plasma Tactical Marines here for Mammoth. Blue team looking quite strong, but they've got a double cap against them. Decent grenade there before those Stormtroopers had to retreat. A Terminator Librarian. Big fight here. There's Sanctuary. Crusaders are dropping models. Looks like they get momentum rings effect, kind of like knobs get. Oh, they wiped out. Crusaders are gone. Crusaders only give you 7 red, really? That's not a lot. Although maybe that was from yipyip's perspective, so they give you 7 red back, kind of thing. This is a bad fight for you, yipyip. You should not be staying in there with G-Stealers under melee synapse. You're just going to get torn apart. Because what happened to those poor Crusaders? One of the Strike Squad also went down. The Stormtroopers went down. Yip is down to Strike Squad and a Terminator Librarian. Sanctuary could not protect them for long. Power bash though from the blue team. Good time to get a power bash as the opponents are thinking about their tier 3s. Wolverine's already there. And they do have a fair chunk of red. So does Yip and Mammoth. I guess we're not going to see that tier 3 Acolyte squad leader then. Oh, down goes a Chimera. Las Cannon from way back there getting shots in. Assault squad with their power melee sergeant ripping through the Devastators. They do get away, barely. Might not have if they were level 1 there. What's this? This is Cry. Decapping the power again using this tunnel. I'll put another tunnel up. I guess it was got before, was it? Oh, that's another one. 2 tunnels up in this northwest. Very, very sneaky. Double bloodletters for 2 arms with some heretic support now. There's that corn worship. It's a bad time to do it, buddy, because the Force Commander's right here, smacking your heretics down. Here we see the Holy Pyre, and the Chaos Lord has gone Lightning Claw mode. 100 power melee DPS. Bad news for pretty much anything getting into melee with him, unless it has vehicle armor, I suppose. There's that drain life. And look, you are able to get some really good damage on using that. Basically forces a retreat if you have a decent army to shoot him. What's going on here? Yip is trying to get the power back, but this G-Stealers is just bad news. Very bad news. I mean, even with Grey Knight Terminators, that's a very dicey fight to send them into with that melee synapse support. They'd need to try and target the warriors pretty quickly. What are they going to use to recover here? Probably either a Land Raider, save for a Land Raider, or get that Vortum Eraser back up to try and use that mobility to drag things around and get damage in. Triple cap here for the blue team. Got some Vanguard veterans now for Mammoth. Cry gets onto the natural VP. Bloodletter's teleporting in. have these power melee weapons, lots of DPS from Bloodletters. Bad news for Marines. And Executioner Lehman Rush from the Tenso's got some more Stormtroopers too, with those assault kits. Bloodletters persuaded to leave, overcommitted there, 2 arms. Got some Plague Marines up. Where are they? Just coming out of base. Looks like Yip is trying to get their power back, yep. Uh oh, last cannon. Rear armor hit, last cannon, that is an orbital. Plasma cannon got a really good hit too. That's a very strange place to put an orbital, and they're all clumped up. That was Wolverine trying to get the Lehman Russ, I think. Trying to use the snare of the last cannon, I think, to get it, but the orbital takes way too long to fire for that to work. Big waste of red from Wolverine. Unfortunately for them and their team. A late Ravener Brood up here for Cry. Tier 3 for Yip. I thought they'd be there a bit quicker than that, but I don't know, trying to bash power. No, this is a Tenso actually, with his Stormtroopers bashing power here. See the remains of the Crusaders over here. They have a pretty cool model, I think. Bad place to be. Inquisitor, oh, puts up a mandate. I can go wherever I want, she says. Special attack misses, though. I don't think she's going to get a model off those guys. Meanwhile, we now have a tunnel here. And blue team are not dealing with it. Oh, here we go. Shotgun scouts are dealing with it. Mammoth. Nothing gets past MammothMKII. He sees it all. Oh, it looks like the Lehman Russ would have just run over it anyway. So the guardsmen are trying to retake the South VP. Level 3 plasma devs. They've done well. Can they get a good shot on these stern guard here? Uh-oh. Plasma devs versus plasma devs. Looks like they missed. Lehman Russ is absolutely melting them though. Have to retreat 182 to 148. VP still very close. Tier 3 for Cry. Can they get a Carnifex up in time to make a difference here? I think they can. Have a decent amount of resources as they go to Tier 3. Bloodletters teleporting in. Getting the Stern Guard out of there quite quickly. Trying to avoid the Force Commander. Chaos Lord should try to go after the Force Commander where they can. I think they're going after a Terminator Librarian now. Sanctuary knocks him back. That's Bloodlust used by 2 arms. Global ability of the Chaos Lord. More damage as his units get hits. We've got Assault Terminators though. Will they get their Lightning Claws? I guess why not? The only reason not to would be potential Carnifexes coming up. But I think they can deal with that other ways. Lightning Claws are freaking up because you're always facing quite a lot of infantry, right? Maybe if there's a vehicle out already, you'd keep this until the vehicle's taken down. No sign of them yet. Do they have the power for them even? No, they don't have the power for them. That would be why. I expect Lightning Claws though. Raveners need to be very careful here. Ravener Alpha does have the Synapse Aura for damage. Are they in there? Oh, they're here. Now making another tunnel. Ouch. Executioner Lehman Russ is tearing through these Tyranids here. I think the Chaos Lord tried to use Drain Life on the Terminator and it just refused to be floated in the air. I think it was in the middle of an animation maybe. Another ill-advised orbital bombardment. I think that was... I assume that was Mammoth. Was it? They have so much red. Must have been. They were trying to hit the retreating stuff, I think. Didn't do a whole lot, I don't think. More heretics on the way for 2 arms. Lehman Russ trying to get away. Looks like Wolverine also has a hammer now. And here comes a second Lehman Russ for the Tenso. This one has done amazing work so far. Yip did indeed get the Vortimer Razor back. This thing has 7 speed. It's very nippy. Has that twin link Psy Cannon on top for decent damage to all targets. And can get a Hunter Killer Missile. In fact, here it comes. I think it gives a bit more hit points as well. We'll see. It's at 650 at the moment. Daemonhunter has nothing new. Level 6 though. Done some work. What's this? It's some Termagants bashing power, bless them. More of them here too. Red team are retaking the south side. They've dug in and recovered, haven't they? 2 arms now has 4 units on the field, which is as much as anyone else aside from the Tenso. Tens are looking quite strong now. Yes, it does give plus 100 hit points. Now up to 750. That was Retribution, but they were already retreating, so it didn't knock them over. Still get the silence though. Not that silencing retreating units is very useful. Inquisitor is still down over here. Level 3. Markov Zeech Chaos Space Marines. Plasma Cannon gets a decent hit. I think it's 55 DPS this weapon. I think. So it's not the most amazing damage ever, but it's quick, and the Hunter Killer is a big burst of damage, and it's good versus everything. We do have Lightning Claw, Assault Terminators. Look how quickly they tore through level 3 CSM there. 2 models went down so fast, had to retreat. Wolverine has a lot of resources. They might be saving for a Land Raid Redeemer. 141 to 101. Venom Cannon Carnifex it is for Cry. Just spawn some spawn mines from something right here to mess up these guardsmen. Doing a lot of damage actually. 141 to 89. Can they take him out? I think they're going to wipe. They do wipe. I guess they weren't paying attention to those fellas, the Tenso. Probably managing their tanks, right? Yeah. Can be tricky to manage 2 tanks as they kind of get in each other's way and stuff. Any more war gear for me to look at? Force Commander's almost level 8. Here comes the Acid Splatter for the Ravener Alpha. It's a splash damage melee weapon. Force Commander of Wolverine is down. Blue team looking quite strong. Oh hey, more Crusaders from yipyip. Maybe we'll see the Acolyte fella. Down goes Illumin Rust. Pretty down quickly there. Thanks to the Carnifex and these Stern Guard veterans. Warrior Brood, level 3. Actually tanking kind of an impressive amount of damage there before they had to retreat. 2291 hit points is pretty damn good on 3 models. Some Pawn Worship here. Lightning Claws versus Lightning Claws. Bloodletters, yeah, double Bloodletters will mess up Terminators. I don't know if they can chop through like a full health Lightning Claw Terminator squad. Maybe. Where are those Crusaders? There he is! There's that Warrior Acolyte with his Eviscerator. Pretty awesome. Giving them the passive damage and damage resistance bonus, of course, 20%. And that Battle Frenzy. I think there's a 45-second cooldown for Battle Frenzy. Oh, blue team are going to get this game. Wasn't even paying attention to the VPs. There's the 2-to-1 cap. Didn't get to see the Eviscerator in action. But there it was. At level 7 Daemonhunter. Level 8 Force Commander Mammoth was very strong in the mid here. The Tenso also very strong. They supported yipyip when he had that depletion event, let's call it, in tier 2 against those Gene Stealers. Hive. Maybe it took a little bit strong to get the Carnifexes rolling. A little bit long, I mean. To get the Carnifexes rolling, but was strong in the north. We had the Hardened Carapace at the end there. 2 arms. Never fully recovered. They never got tier 3 going and stuff. The double Bloodletters were cool, but they couldn't really build on it. Was losing stuff every fight, I think. And Wolverine, Force Commander, maybe not quite as effective as Mammoths. Plasma Cannon did a lot of work and did have a Predator tank at the end. Force Commander's level 3. Chaos Law level 4 and a Ravener level 6. There you have it, guys. It was a cool map, eh? Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.